Happy Monday. AMC starting the week on a great note, especially today being earnings day. So earnings are out since 4 p.m. Eastern time, and we're going to dive into the numbers and see exactly how it's going to impact the share price moving forward. So getting into these guys, you can see from the screen that right after, even before the earnings, okay, it went all the way through and passed $35. But right now it's kind of sitting at 67%, after hours, but it was kind of bouncing before 4 and 6, and at the point it was even up to 7% gains after hours. So earnings obviously were good, and the main numbers to kind of look into here, guys, is first of all, the street were expecting a loss. No brainer, okay? Since 2020, AMC theaters were closed because of the lockdowns, and they had zero revenues, and they were still burning cash. Okay, so they were still burning cash. But looking at what exactly the main numbers, losses per share. Okay, the street were expecting 91 cents, and actually AMC made a 71 cents per share. So they were still losing money. So for $1 invested, they were losing 71 cents. Now on the revenue side, in terms of the sales, with the theaters and all the other events they kind of managed to include into the revenue stream, like concerts, the fights, the UFC fights, and now the esports. So Street were expecting $382 million, and actually AMC was able to manage and get out with $444 million for the quarter. So this is good. This is very good. First of all, it means AMC is not a dead company. It means AMC is not a dead cat from a fundamental standpoint. It means AMC is a strong recovery play and easier to stay. And that's why you've seen lately, since January, bunch of ETFs, mutual funds, bunch of banks, bunch of pension funds, bunch of investment banks, Vanguard, BlackRock, Invesco, all of these big boys on the street buying and even adding more since the beginning of the quarter. So this is a strong signal for the market. Now, something that I really need to stress in here, guys, is this number. AMC is now sitting on $2 billion in terms of liquidity, okay? Even though they're still burning cash, but they were able to raise additional money, and bunch of this is mostly because they sold some securities. They sold some shares when we're going back up, 40s, 50s, 70s, 60. They sold some shares, and those shares, the money or the proceeds from those shares sale, first of all, they used it to have a cash on hand. This is definitely a good chunk of money you need as a company, even as a person, okay, as an individual. You always need to have kind of a security cushion. You need to have kind of a emergency fund, okay? But this is so big that it's actually going to be used to either invest into the company by acquiring more theaters or also upgrading other theaters. But the thing is, guys, this is the highest number, okay, which is about double to previous highest ever such mark in AMC's 101-year history. So AMC, from a financial standpoint, is at the best place since the company has been created. This is very, very good for the short term, medium term, and long term, because those big boys, okay, the Invescos, the BlackRock, the Vanguards, they look at such numbers, and that's why I believe personally they bought a bunch of shares since January and added more as they got into the second quarter. Now, will this have a major shift into the short squeeze? Well, maybe tomorrow we're gonna have a bounce, because if you look right before the closing bell, it went all the way to 35. Now, when you look at the number in terms of the activity today, dog pools is still 66%. This is high. This is very, very high. Okay, so shorts still not covering. All right, nothing has changed from a short squeeze play, but tomorrow, maybe we might see a bounce, maybe not, because you know what? Shorts are shorts. Our orders are being rerouted. Our orders, they are manipulating these through dark pools. But with all the catalysts coming in, okay, you already know. But as far as the shorts are concerned, they are still not covering. So nothing has changed, man. Maybe tomorrow we see a bounce, but again, guys, I don't expect. I wouldn't put my hold my breath on that because again, it's AMC, man.